Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the BI Rabbi. You know, one of the great values in our Torah is the value of human life. The emphasis that we place on trying to not shed any blood, commit violence, lose human life. It's so important, but it's a hard value to hold on to and to keep as sacred when we live in an age when we see and read and hear about so many dozens, hundreds, even thousands of deaths per day if we follow the news. A colleague of mine, a mentor and a friend, Rabbi Sheldon Lewis in California, he wrote a book several years ago called The Torah of Reconciliation. And he goes through each and every Torah portion in the Chumash, in the Torah, and brings to it rabbinic commentaries, midrashim, explanations that center around the theme of reconciliation and peace. And it's a wonderful book. And so for this Torah portion, Matot Maseh, it's a double portion this week, he quotes from towards the end of the book of, not the end of the book of Numbers, almost the end, chapter 35, and it says, "You shall not pollute the land in which you live. For blood, it pollutes the land itself, land of Israel. And no expiation can be made for the land for the blood that is shed, but by the blood of him that shed it." So an ancient practice, and a modern practice too, that you have to somehow punish the person who sheds another person's blood. And it says, "You shall not defile the land in which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell," in which God dwells, "for I, the Lord, dwell in the midst of the children of Israel." A reminder that God dwells among us. And then Rabbi Lewis brings a midrash, rabbinic interpretation from the midrashic collection called Sifrei, on the book of Numbers. And it says that this verse, one about not polluting the land in which you live, teaches that the shedding of blood defiles the land and causes the Shekhinah to depart. The Shekhinah is God's presence, God's feminine presence, actually. And due to the shedding of blood, the temple was destroyed. The first temple, the second temple, these are the monuments to the central places of Jewish worship that were destroyed, and we commemorate their destruction in the coming week, actually, on Tisha B'Av, on the 9th of Av. So Rabbi Lewis explains that the land cannot bear the shedding of human blood, the land itself. It is polluted and defiled when any human life is cut short. And this sweeping admonition in the Torah against defiling the land actually includes accidental murder, manslaughter, as well as murder with malice, which is a really poignant thing. The implication is that one should guard as much as humanly possible, even against an accidental death, because the resulting loss crosses some sort of line. The loss of life crosses that line even if it's not premeditated murder. The preciousness of every human being is underscored. The relationship to the land, Rabbi Lewis says, is tied to the moral behavior of every person and to the people as a whole. So anytime we have some sort of premature death caused by another human being, it amounts to a defiling of the land. And it generates a need for some sort of atonement. Tenure on the land, our ability and the privilege to live on the land, is dependent on human behavior. What a big concept. That our ability to live in the land of Israel, and this works in modern days as well, is dependent on our behavior. So my blessing for us this week is that we can dig deep and find the koach, the strength and the energy inside of ourselves to have compassion upon all human beings, those we know, those we've never met. And that's hard when we read about such tragedies each day in the paper or here on the news. But that we have that compassion because all human beings have value and all are precious. Shabbat Shalom.